Looks like I'm starting this vlog at the perfect time. Calvin this morning removed the angle kit from the S14 like we talked about in the last video. The angle kit added about 30 mil of extra poke out of the front, and now with it removed, we have stock steering angle and our front fitment is where it was supposed to be. So we're gonna get a fitment check, we're gonna lower it, see where it ends up.
We still need to adjust the toe to make our wheels straight.
That energy is putting me to sleep.
Shut your hole! I'm out of energy. You weren't here? You guys weren't here when TJ, I had to explain to TJ something and I'm gonna lose my mind. Guys, I'm just gonna fix.
Wow, you're like a broken computer. You're like a video game that has a scratched disc right now.
I'm gonna fix the tie rod.
Wanna lower it? Let's get a fitment check. Come on, let's get the give the people what they want.
No, because the wheel's not straight. Goose.
At the moment, this car just has an eye alignment. It's gonna get aligned before we actually get this thing on the road, but we're gonna try to get this car to be as good as the eye can set it. We had a lot of toe in, so right now we're towing out just a little bit.
Last time we did this?
That's pretty good that's pretty good right there.
Last time we did this was on the 350 back in 2014, and we were crab walking.
I remember that video.
So
shout out to that video.
So fun. I was following behind you, and you're scooting along like this.
I remember that. Meaty, thick boy tire setup is the best setup. Keep in mind that this car still sits too tall. We're gonna have to lower it. And when we lower it in the front an inch, the front will sink in just a little bit and we haven't even adjusted camber. Oh, baby. Oh, that's so good. If we add like a half degree of camber or even just lower it a little bit, that front fitment's gonna be so good. I oftentimes see a lot of questions down below of you guys asking about certain cars that you haven't seen in a while. Two popular cars that I hear you guys ask about a lot is the Veilslide RX-7, and I also see you guys asking about that 350Z comp car, also known as Selena. I wanna get you guys caught up on both those cars very quickly. Before I do that, I wanna let you guys know that this is the spare motor that we had out of Selena from years ago. It's rebuilt, it's all Brian Crower internals. It's good for 1,000 plus all day. Everything that they offer has pretty much been done to this thing, all the way down to the crank. I recently told you guys that I didn't know what I wanted to put it in, but I would just keep it here on ice until I figured out what it would be used for. And I have an update, and I have an answer for that. So let's get into it. This weekend, I'm gonna be driving on an event in Virginia called Hyperfest. I've never been to this event before, but my good friend Adam LZ has been there plenty of times, and he's been telling me for years now, if you ever get a chance to drive a Hyperfest, it is one of those events where you will drive till you are blue in the face. You will literally want to stop driving at the end of the day because you've been driving so much. Well, I had the opportunity to go, and I was gonna bring out my 370Z. And Adam was like, Tej, you need to bring out your 350. I know you've been having some random weird problems here and there without that car, but he offered for me to send it out to him, and he said that he would help go throughout the whole entire car, all the way down to the motor, to suspension, to even just finding loose parts around the car and fixing it up. So the car went there, and the last problems that we had with that car was at our competition 7 months ago, and we were having breaking up issues, we were having ECU issues, the car setup just felt terrible, it didn't feel good. And as you guys know, I drive way better in my 370Z and my Florida 350Z compared to my competition car. I sent the car to Adam about a week ago, and over the last couple days, he's fixed a million things on the car. As we assumed, there was a bunch of just loose ends throughout that car that are just from, you know, not giving that car the attention and time it deserves, because it's like a literal full-on race car. And they're prepping that car to get ready for the Hyperfest driving event that's coming up for me in like 3 days. So the car is pretty much ready to go. Adam's been ripping it around since yesterday. He said the car feels very dialed, but they did notice that the motor is actually pretty tired. I'll put up this photo right here. This was the compression test. I think one of the cylinders is at like 100. So the motor isn't blown or damaged, but the motor is definitely tired. The motor is making really good power. They redialed the whole car and kind of made some tuning adjustments. It's making like 560 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque on like 22 pounds of boost, which is like very, very good, but the motor is definitely tired. We are expecting the motor to kind of potentially give up at the end of Hyperfest because it's 3 days of very, very intense driving. And Adam suggested that we rebuild the motor in Selena currently before all the other events coming this summer. And I was like, you know what? I have a solution. This motor has been sitting, waiting for a home. And although this is built for like 1,000 plus horsepower and has a big capability, I'm gonna send this back to the original car it came out of, which is Selena. This was Selena's original motor, which became its spare backup motor once I rebuilt it. And it's gonna save me a ton of money to ship this out to Florida than it will be to take out the motor, rebuild that completely, and a time and all that type of stuff. So later this week, I'm I'm shipping this out to Florida, and we're gonna be swapping this JZ for the JZ that's in the car, and then the JZ that comes out of the car, we're gonna rebuild that over the next month or so we have 2 fully built JZs just ready to go. So I wanted to update you guys with the fate of this motor because it's gonna go to its original home and a good use, and I wanted to tell you guys about the 350 because the 350, Selena, the comp car, is actually gonna be living in Florida throughout the whole entire summer. There's a ton of East Coast events like Grid Life, Clutch Kickers that I plan to drive in Selena, so I'm really excited about that. Moving on to the Veilside RX-7, I know you guys haven't seen it in a while, giving you guys small updates here or there, but that car is still at the body shop at Torrey Pines Collision, and I might be jumping over there tomorrow to film a quick little video. The bodywork is nearly complete. There was just so much more than they really expected, and that kit, to make it fit perfect, took a lot of time and effort. We're hoping to spray some primer on that car as soon as next week, which that means that paint will go on the car very shortly after that. So the Veilside's coming back very soon. I hope to give a dedicated video towards that car in the next upcoming days. If I don't, I'll be sure to touch on the Veilside again very soon. Today's video is sponsored by the #1 company that will keep hair on your head, and that is Keeps. Keeps is an online subscription service that has doctor-recommended hair loss treatments that can be shipped straight to your door, so you never have to go to the doctor's office or even leave your house. 2 out of every 3 males will experience some sort of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35 years old. And that's why Keeps is here to help us out. You can get quality expert care without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss or stimulate hair growth or just take better care of your hair, Keeps has you covered. Keeps is really easy to subscribe to, and they have really easy refillment plans, so you're never low on products, so you never need to worry about it. Hair loss will stop with Keeps, so click the links down below or go to keeps.com/hunt to receive 50% off of your first order. Thank you so much to Keeps for sponsoring this video and for saving our hair, and now let's get back to it. In the video that I put the TE37s on the Supra, a lot of you guys did not hold back your comments. A lot of you say you don't like the TEs compared to the last Advan GTs. I hear you guys, but I personally like the TEs way more. But what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be fixing my biggest complaint, and that is the fitment issue. These specs are meant for the Supra, but it's a little weak in my opinion. So I went ahead and picked up a set of hub-centric spacers for the Mark IV. They are 10mm spacers. I think it's gonna be the right amount of poke, or it's gonna be the right amount to give us that flush fitment that I'm after. Let's throw them on the car and see how it looks. Good news and bad news. One, the good news, the fitment is actually exactly where I want it to be. It looks a lot better, but the bad news is I was barely able to thread on those lug nuts onto the studs to get it to fit. And I thought this would happen, and this was gonna have to come eventually. ARP, extended studs. We're gonna go ahead and take everything back off. We're gonna go ahead and throw these on all 4 corners and make it safer and give us the right amount of bite that we actually need, the right amount of threads we actually need. So we're gonna have to take this one step farther, but we gotta do it the right way. So unfortunately, we started diving into the right rear, and the parking brake assembly within the rotor has failed. Must have happened a long time ago. I never noticed I didn't have a working parking brake, and that's because the parking brake on the left is working, the parking brake on the right isn't working at all. It was a pain to get the rotor off, so what we're going to have to do now is just disassemble this whole entire parking brake and probably get rid of it until we can get a new spare in. Unfortunate, but this car is old and it gets rusty, and it happens.
All just to do this.
That took way longer than it should have. Unfortunately, we lost the right side e-brake in the process. We're gonna have to order a new one. I'm gonna do some research online to see if maybe there is a second caliper e-brake modification in the world of Supras. Not sure if that exists, but it would definitely be a lot better than putting back this e-brake, because I personally hate these e-brakes. I just expand within the rotor. Not a fan of that. While I was tightening the wheel and getting that set up, Calvin actually moved on because we are actually replacing these spark plugs out of the JZ because they are long overdue. Have you pulled any of the old spark plugs yet? Oh, I think they're right here. You can just look at these. These are pretty old and fried. I don't think I have ever changed them out, and they should be changed out pretty regularly for a high horsepower car like this. So we got a brand new set of NGKs going in the car. We just gapped them to, I think, 0.559 millimeters, which is relatively small, but that's needed on a high horsepower car to get a good spark. So Calvin's swapping those out, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side of the car.
what we've been doing this whole time, trying to figure out our situation. It is a frustrating process. Here in the rear, what you had to do was take all of the brakes out. Both of them were messed up. If you go in reverse while the parking brake is up, you destroy all of these pins. There's 3 of them. It's upsetting that we had to get rid of both of these, and now we had to do an aftermarket one when staying OEM was the goal. Unfortunate. Another thing that we had to do was drill a fatty hole behind this thing, which is horrible.
A lot of people in the forums said to do this too. That's how they got the idea. Or I don't know if Calvin, you figured it out, but
I was like,
drill a hole on this plate and you could just, the problem is these extended studs are so long, you're not able to put this in and get the right angle to thread it through this.
Yeah.
So you have to like make an access hole through the back that's like just long enough so you could then slip it through.
We've been doing that. Every bolt is rusted and stuck, so that's a mission. Unfortunately, we have to explain it after the fact.
Yeah, it was just so frustrating, and we just like have been wanting to throw a hammer through this car. I was gonna say something else.
And just leave it.
Yeah.
But we're done.
I think at this point, a lot of people are gonna be suggesting or asking where are your brakes to, or like, why don't you just do a different brake setup? I have ordered a set of brakes for this car. I wanted a very particular special setup, and it's like a 6-month lead time. I ordered them like 3 months ago. We're not gonna see them for another 3 months. So we pretty much lost our e-brake. The e-brake is just useless now. I am going to maybe try to find if we could put like an aftermarket caliper on the setup so we can just use that as our e-brake, but I don't know if that will work with the new brake setup we have coming in. I have no idea. At the moment, we ruined our e-brake and lost our internal pieces just to add a spacer.
Just to have a 10mm spacer.
How embarrassing. But it had to be done at one point. So
and I don't know about you, Teach, but I was like, we're leaving this car here. You're taking the BRZ home. But we're done. It's actually done. This is the last thing. All the other tires are on.
It's all part of the process of getting this car back to where it needs to be. I've told you guys like a while ago, we're gonna like refresh this whole car, and this is like one of the painful things that I knew we had to do. So
painful is a huge understatement. Huge understatement.
It's crazy how much 10mm spacer can do, but that looks so much better. Really happy with how that plays out. Front looks on point as well. Let's go drive this car home. It could just be a butt dyno thing, or it could be a mental thing, but the car feels a lot smoother and it feels better with the new spark plugs in it. Those old ones were pretty old and grimy. The car feels really good. Really happy with it. Bummed that we have to temporarily get rid of the e-brake. Right now when I pull it, woo-hoo, woo, woo, I got nothing. So, gonna have to order the new pins that broke off the old setup. Should be an easy replacement. Bummed we weren't able to get those parts there. Bummed that we didn't know those were already broken, so we could have just fixed it the same day we had it out. But sometimes that's just how it goes. Just parked the Mark IV next to the Mark V. Always a good look seeing these two together. You guys saw me get these Nismo LMGT2s the other day, and we just got another set, or another pair I should say, of Blitz 03s. If you don't remember, I actually dropped off close to 20 different wheels at 3-piece US. So big shout out to them, and they've been rebuilding these wheels for me over the last couple months. It's been taking quite a while because supply shortages are at such a high right now, but they still have, I think, 12 or so more that they're still building. But really cool to kind of start getting these back. It's always exciting. I'm gonna throw these, I think, up on the other side of those 18 step blips that we have over there and kind of add to the collection. One thing Sabrina and I have been trying to do lately more to kind of take a break from work and the everyday today life stresses is walk our dogs. For those of you who don't know, I have like a dog park on the side of the yard where we let the dogs run and play every single day, and they love it. We don't really walk our dogs anymore, and it's the dogs love it, and it's a way for us to kind of just for like 30-45 minutes put away our phones and just kind of enjoy the day. And it sounds weird, but I've been like looking forward to it. So Sabrina and I are gonna go for the walk right now and enjoy some time with our dogs.
So the boys know we try really hard to make this a routine, but we're not very good at it. We're gonna go on our walk. 1 service animal and 2 bad boys.
It's funny, Kona and Blue, who are much older than Hilo. Hilo's barely over a year old. Blue and Kona are like 4 and 5. They are terrible on walks, and Kona, such an anxious wreck. Like, you can look at him, Kona won't walk straight. He'll walk in a zigzag as if like he's trying to escape from an alligator. And Hilo, who's a baby, won't pull. He's just the perfect walker, and he's just amazing. And he like has
It's because he's the smartest
the
boy.
least amount of experience compared to these two. And Blue's like a killer because he's like we always call Wolf, he's like a wolf. He's a husky, but literally everywhere he goes, he'll just like hunt out squirrels. And then in our backyard, Blue will literally find squirrels, rip them out of the ground, and just tear them up and kill them. Blue's a killer. It's that special day of the week, everyone. I don't even know why I include this stuff. Excuse me.
So sorry.
I don't even know why I include this in the vlog, but it's Tuesday night.
Include what? Are you
What is
kidding?
Tuesday night? It's baseball night. Baseball night,
This is the
Sabrina
best
and
night of
I go where Sabrina comes as moral support, and she watches me play in a men's softball league that my friend Danny asked me to join in on because the team sucks. Because now I'm a part of the team, we're about 1-7.
Ooh.
We're terrible,
It's
but
okay,
it's
it's
so
okay,
much
it's
fun.
okay.
I played baseball like just a little bit growing up. I'm naturally great at everything I do.
You are.
So I go there and I help out with the boys, and we suck ass. We're terrible.
It's okay. We're gonna get.
But I love baseball night. It's a lot of fun. So here we go.
We're gonna get a dub tonight. You heard it here first.
Probably not.
Probably not.
So it just happens to be a little bit colder than we were expecting.
It's a little windy, so your girl's gonna be freezing, but I'll still support. I'll still support you.
It's very cold.
You guys are gonna lose again tonight. How do you feel about that?
I thought you said you were a supportive girlfriend.
I am. I'm here to cheer you on.
Supportive in attendance, but not in what you're betting against.
Not in true. Hey, I'm just trying to be real with you. Look at the difference between a team that like really hypes each other up versus what you guys are gonna see out of TJ and his team. Absolutely silent. Oh, you look so cute right now.
I thought you were being supportive today.
I am being supportive.
You're not being supportive. Not at all.
They're just so excited to play. You look like you're about to sleep. You look like an old man that's past his
I'm
bedtime.
cold.
Danny, cold?
Oh, hey guys, I recently lost my arms, but I'm gonna kill it today on the baseball field.
I heard eating snails actually helps retain body heat. All right, let's see what Danny can do here. Oh! Let's go! Eating snails does not affect his game. I can confirm. Wow, Danny, good work! That's the first clip I've gotten for you guys all night, and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, the score is 8-2 right now. We're not doing good, but Danny did pretty good right there, okay? Yeah, first inning. Okay, our boy's up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see a home run, Teach! Woo! Oh, and he gets a home run! Go Teach! That's my boyfriend! We're just not gonna win. Again, we're gonna lose another game. I'm going to the car to get a blanket because it's freezing cold out, but I figured I'd end the vlog. I wanted to end the vlog because I'm so thankful for all of you guys. You guys are so amazing. I know TJ kind of gave a little bit of a talk at the end of the last video, just kind of talking about what we've been going through and that life has just been a little bit hard and that it's okay that life's a little bit hard sometimes. And just reading through all of your guys' messages and saying that you're praying for us, you're praying for me, it just means the world to me. It means the world to us on behalf of both of us. Thank you guys so much. And that it really is so true and so important to know that just because things aren't okay right now doesn't mean they won't be okay in the future, and doesn't mean that there's not always light at the end of a dark tunnel. So remember that. I'm gonna finish the vlog here. I really love you guys. I'm really so thankful for you guys. Maybe add into your prayers that boys win the next baseball game, hopefully. Just kidding, this is the last one, they suck. I love you guys. Peace out. Keep moving forward.